Hello, everyone. Our world is fascinating and full of incredible facts. Now imagine what life would be like if the average human lifespan was 200 years. In a world where people live to 200 years on average, civilization would have evolved completely differently. A long human lifespan would change humanity's relationship with time, resources, knowledge, and even with itself. Human evolution initially followed the same path as in our real history. However, the moment people realized their increased lifespan became a turning point. Even in ancient times, long-living elders began to notice that their children's children were reaching ages where they, too, became mentors to the third generation. This allowed knowledge accumulated over decades to be passed down with greater accuracy. Instead of quick achievements, as in real history, civilizations learned patience. For example, the Egyptians didn't rush to build their pyramids. Each monument took centuries to construct. Master craftsmen would pass down their grand projects to their children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. By 2000 BCE, as these long-lived civilizations began actively exchanging ideas, education extended over decades. People spent 30 to 40 years mastering a single profession. Philosophers, artists, and craftsmen honed their skills throughout their long lives. A new concept of life epochs emerged. A person could master one area by age 60, dedicate the next 40 years to a new profession, and spend another 50 years learning something entirely different. However, this created its own problems. Some people, by the middle of their lives, experienced self-fatigue. They could live so long that they witnessed the fading of their own passions or became disillusioned with their chosen paths. Long-lived individuals played a key role in governing the world. Chiefs, kings, and presidents could remain in power for decades, often leading to stagnation. Systems of power limitations were introduced, forcing leaders to retire after 50 years of service to prevent dictatorships. The political decisions of these long-living rulers were remarkably forward-thinking. Instead of short-term benefits, leaders planned projects that spanned centuries. For instance, in 1200 CE, a dynasty in ancient China began constructing a vast canal system, which wasn't completed until 1700 CE. With such long lives, humanity became acutely aware of the need to protect nature. Living for 2 centuries meant witnessing the consequences of environmental destruction firsthand. Over time, people created harmonious communities where technology and nature coexisted in balance. Still, there were those who lived in short cycles, 20 to 30 years of ambitious consumption, followed by a period of spiritual renewal and asceticism. This unique lifestyle led to an unusual economic model. People periodically abandoned wealth accumulation and restarted their lives anew. In this world of long lifespans, culture developed slowly but profoundly. Traditions were preserved for centuries. For example, people created literary works that were written over decades, perfecting every word. Marriage and family life also underwent major changes. Instead of having just one family in a lifetime, people often started multiple families. Some chose to raise children in their first century of life, spending the remaining centuries alone or dedicating themselves to careers and exploration. With extended lifespans, scientists achieved remarkable heights. Experimental science thrived as researchers could dedicate 100 years to a single discovery without fear that their lives would end before they saw the results. This long-term thinking was instrumental in space exploration. By 2500 CE, humanity had begun actively colonizing nearby planets, as life on Earth became too constrained for such slow, sustained growth. But not everything was perfect. A long life brought psychological challenges. People began suffering from memory overload, where the sheer volume of events and emotions accumulated over a lifetime made them feel overwhelmed. Some chose to artificially reduce their memories, erasing excess recollections to start a new phase of life without the burden of the past. In this world of 2-century-long lives, humanity learned to value time differently. People saw the future not as something for their descendants, but as their own horizon. This led to extraordinary advancements in art, science, and environmental stewardship. But the greatest wisdom of such a life was the realization of the value of every moment. For even 2 centuries are just a fleeting instant if one doesn't learn to live with purpose and meaning. Thank you for imagining and living through this alternative world with me. Visit my channel for more fascinating stories based on real events and beyond. Sending you all a warm hug.